Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, we are from group 9. My name is Geri Dwi Nugraha.
My name is Nia Sagita.
My name is Geri Dwi Nugraha.
Today we will make a video interview about Oxford Mathematics interview experience. Happy watching!
Tell about your interviews.
I remember being really nervous for my interviews. I interviewed at Mountain College where I had 2 interviews. Actually, I had 2 more interviews. One at Martin College and one at St. Hawk, which is where I am now. And during these 4 interviews, I saw many interesting questions. One really interesting question I saw was a question about cubes and the number of variative a cube has. Well, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, and even higher dimension. And it didn't stop there. We also discussed how many edges there are in the dimensions, and we tried to find a formula for each one of these. I thought it was quite interesting. There were also very hard questions. One particular question I remember is I was asked to sketch the normal distribution which was like bell curve, and I was asked to sketch its derivative by I and its derivative as well, so 2 derivatives, and that was easy enough. You just sketch it. And then she asked me, do I notice anything about the number of turning points and the number of threads as we go down? And then I noticed then as the differentiate each time the number of threads and the number of turning points increased by 1. And then the question was given to me, can you prove that formula is true? And that was really difficult. I was really stumped at the beginning, and actually I didn't know what to say. But luckily for me, the interviewer he gave me a prompt. He gave me a hint about some theorem that is really useful for this, and I immediately managed to use this hint and then go on to answer the question. I thought I was really scary at first, but really rewarding at the end. I didn't get anything about my personal statement in the interview, which I thought it was not too strange. I suppose they thought it was not really interesting at the interviews. Which aspect applied the most to the tutors?
I think that interviews really like to see me straight through the question, because they went to see how I think. They went to see the process in which I go about a question, and so they were really like giving me a difficult question so that I don't struggle with it, and they will often give me hint to see if I can cooperate with them. If I do to attend the university and to prepare for interview, I kept them in mind. I practice expressing my thought as much as possible. I did this by speaking out loud when I am by myself answering a math question, and I try to do that whenever I call. Oxford Mathematics interview version.
Well, also mention that I tried to speak my thoughts as much as possible. Rather than that, I was really keen on solving maths B and O, British Math Olympiad questions. I feel like that helped out a lot my problem solving skills. It gave me a good institution on how to solve it. I did the mock interviews with my teachers, and they were quite keen to know and to do the session with me. They emphasized that I should be speaking my thoughts out as much as possible, even when I was struggling to try to give suggestions as how to solve the problem. For example, maybe we can solve this by induction even though you are not sure how you do that and so on. So I did these things quite often, and I did it about 2 times a week with my teacher, the mock interviews. And there's other things I've mentioned. I try get them on getting in the background as I prepared for my interviews.